Okay, let's get a handle on things. Okay, I have a bunch of um, sorry, we got a bunch of references. A bunch of references. There's this app called Sketchy that I used to use all the time. Um, and I've kind of been slacking, but it's mostly because I don't have an iPhone anymore. Um, so this app is only on iPhone, but there's an app where people post their photos and then you can go ahead and paint them. And so that's what I wanted to do today. I want to get back into painting via sketching other people's photos. Let's clean off our palette. So yeah, I don't know. That's the kind of the plan. Maybe I want to just do a couple of them. Just take it slow. I don't want to rush or I don't know. Sometimes it feels like when I paint here on stream. Let me pull up some music for myself. Um, Sometimes when I paint here on stream, it feels like a little bit like I get overwhelmed because when I'm painting by myself, I can kind of paint for like hours and really not have to do a whole lot. But sometimes when I paint here, it feels like, I feel a little bit antsy for some reason. So we're just going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Sorry if you guys heard that. There's. Hey, what's up, the old Wiss? Yeah, I was saying sometimes it feels like I get a little overwhelmed when I paint on stream, but we're gonna not do that today. We're gonna actually push through. Let me see where I can put this. Yeah, we're gonna push through. Maybe do a couple of these. Yeah, and we're using that app called Sketchy. Okay, let me just pull up a random portrait. Okay, here's one. So like this. So like somebody will go on this site on this app, and then they'll post like their like a selfie of them or something, and you can use that as reference. So this is what we're going to be using for reference right now. Oops. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of times I just feel kind of overwhelmed when I paint on stream. Maybe it's also because there's like this little camera's right next to me. But we're just gonna go slow. I don't need to rush or anything. What am I gonna what old with? I think there's a bigger image. Okay, there we go. I like this reference because I feel like this guy kind of looks like I was gonna say a better version of me, but just like a different. He looks like a different universe version of me. Okay, it's a decent head shape for him. I also want to try to be more realistic too. I feel like when I rush through things, I end up having like a really round cartoon style. Just fine, but it's not what I'm looking for all the time. I saw this recently. I saw this one Chinese artist here on YouTube. Um, and I saw him painting, and his style looked like just like exactly what I imagined my style like would look like if I was like much better. It's so weird to even put it like that, but just the way he was using color was really like it looked really nice. And it wasn't like super realistic, but you could tell that he definitely knew like what he was doing. It was really nice. I was gonna share it here, but I thought maybe that wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. Let's wait for this to dry. I want to grab a fan as well, but oh, what am I drawing? Sorry for missing your comment. We're doing portraits. We're just gonna run through some portraits. We're gonna run through some portraits today. Honestly, for the past like year, I would say probably for the past year, I've had this one song stuck in my head, and like it's one of those songs that I can just play back to 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 back. And I'm still not even tired of it. Like I'm listening to it right now. I've literally been listening to this song for like a year straight, and I think it ended up being like my most. You know how you can like look on Spotify, and it'll show you like your most played songs. I'm pretty sure this song, even though I've only known it for like a year, or maybe 2 years now, it's literally like jumped past all of my other songs that I've listened to. And they're just saying the same word over and over again. Okay, I need to wait for this to dry. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this paper. What's up, Old Wiz? Let's wait for this paper to dry. Yeah, this song is stuck in my head. So I'm just gonna keep playing it until I honestly don't see myself ever not listening to the song. Okay, let's do that. I want to try to be more accurate with this painting too. There we go. Little two things right there. Also, thanks, Old West, for the comments. I appreciate it. There we go. What's up, PAS? What's up, Pass? Yeah, this paper is so like wet still, which is crazy. I just put on one little wash and it's still wet from it. But I want to try to be more accurate. I feel like a lot of times I'm just, even right now, I'm kind of just going based on what I feel rather than like studying the reference super well. Okay, this is a shadow all the way down here. Kind of has like a half smirk. Let me show you guys the reference again. I want to show you guys the reference. This is the reference. This is the reference. It's from, let's see what kind of paper this is. I don't know if it'll even have like a number on it. But it's just like a cheap sketchbook. Let's see. Is there any brand on it? Oh, there's not even a brand on it. I don't know. This is one of those things I got as a gift. I don't know where. It's probably for my dad. But yeah, I think there's two different types of paper in it though. It's like one side of it. You know what? That actually might be the issue. One side of the paper is like smooth, and the other side is like cold press. I think it is. Is it? No, yeah, cold press. And one side is hot press. I think. I feel like we've gone a couple streams without having a decent portrait, so I want to actually try for this one. Kind of has a shadow running here. I'm planning, hopefully, I mean maybe tonight. I want to buy a new sketchbook I want to buy a new sketchbook. I'm just not sure which one to get. I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on paper. I've never been super picky with paper. Um, but that being said, there is still paper I don't like. Like weirdly enough, a I used to use a Strathmore, or no, was it Strathmore? I think it was Strathmore Zeta series. Maybe is it Strathmore that has the Zeta Beta Gamma series? It might be a different brand, but whatever brand has that, like, no, it's sorry for yelling. It's Stillman and Burn. Stillman and Burn had this series. They still have it called like Zeta Beta Gamma, and there's like three different types of sketchbooks. I used to use this Stillman and Burn um, Zeta series, and when I first got it, I really did not like that paper because it was so smooth. It was kind of strange because the it's one of those papers, it's one of those kinds of paper where the paint just like really sits on top of it for a long time. And at first I really didn't like that, but then by the time I got to the end of the sketchbook, because I did keep it because I didn't want to waste money. By the time I got to the end of it, I like really liked it and almost like regretted buying another brand because I bought a Stillman and Burn one, or I bought a Moleskin one, and I almost like regretted like not sticking with it, which is weird because I really didn't like it at the beginning. But also, whenever I see someone doing the squint, I can only think of like Clint Eastwood doing that the famous squint. You know what's crazy? A long time ago, I was working somewhere. I'll just say I was working at a car wash a long time ago, um, and I saw this guy that looked just like Clint Eastwood, like 100%. I kind of thought Clint Eastwood came to my state, which would have been so odd. But I was convinced. I'm like, dude, this looks just like Clint Eastwood. And then I asked the kid next to me that was working. I'm like, dude, do you think that guy looks like Clint Eastwood at all? And the kid had no clue who Clint Eastwood even was. I was like, what in the world, dude? What are we talking about? But I thought the guy looked just like Clint Eastwood. But I also have like, if you know me in person, you'll know this is true. I kind of have like a little bit of I think maybe it's like a painter thing, or I don't know what. But I'm very observant. You don't know who Clint Eastwood is? Oh my goodness, PAS. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I'm very observant, and a lot of times I'll like notice that someone looks like someone else, or they remind me of someone, or like they put me in the mind of something, or they remind me of a TV show, or I don't know something. And like I have to fight the urge to not tell them that they look like this person, or that they sound just like this guy, or they like that's like a common thing that goes on in my head. But the guy I was talking, or the guy that I ended up washing his car a long time ago, really did look just like Clint Eastwood. And he was driving like an old 2000 like three it was either like a Toyota Tacoma or like a Ford Focus or something. Well, not Ford Focus, a Ford Ranger. But he was driving like this little truck, and yeah, he was a cool guy. He kind of acted like Clint Eastwood too. I told a guy he looked like Vin Diesel. Well, I guess the thing is, you never know if someone's gonna take it as a compliment. Like in my mind, I always mean it as a compliment, or at least like an objective truth, not really like a. It's never a negative thing when I say it, but you never know if someone's gonna take it like that. Did that guy that you said looked like Vin Diesel? Did he take it as a compliment? Yeah, I never mean it out of like distaste or trying to make fun of somebody. It's just I have such an urge. Like when I see someone, and I'm like, dude, This guy looks like a 1964 cowboy actor. Like, bro, this guy looks just like this guy that was in a movie in 1964. I just have the urge to tell them. I don't think so. I think that's a compliment. I think that's a compliment. But then I got to think about it from my perspective too. It's like I've only had a few comparisons, and I don't think any of them particularly have been all that flattering. Like when I was much younger, I used to get compared to Jaden Smith because I looked just like in the Karate Kid movie. That's if you want to imagine me as a little kid, look up Jaden Smith in the Karate Kid. That basically is like what I used to look like, and so people would say I look like that. And then one time I was talking to somebody from China, and they said I look like LeBron James's son, and that was I don't know. I mean, that's not mean, but it just was a little less complimentary, I thought. But it's fine. I wouldn't take any offense to it. Gabby Douglas. Now you're really making me. I don't even know what you look like, PAS. I have no clue what you look like. But maybe you do look like Gabby Douglas. What does Gabby Douglas even look like? I'm thinking Simone Biles. I need to. What does Gabby Douglas look like? I'm thinking Simone Biles. Oh, okay. Okay, I do remember. What does Simone Biles? Okay, Simone Biles. They do look slightly different. They do look very different. For some reason, when I heard Gabby Douglas, I thought Simone Biles. I think that's a compliment. I think that's a good compliment. Unless you look nothing like Gabby Douglas, then I don't know what to say. But yeah, I've gotten LeBron James's son, which was I don't know interesting, and then Jaden Smith as a little kid when I was a little kid. I'm trying to think of anyone else. I've ever gotten any other complimentary or uncomplimentary comparisons. Can't think of any. I don't really look like her, but I was a gymnast. Okay, that might take you halfway there. That might take you halfway to looking like her. Yeah, I feel like when you're in the same, maybe in the same field, people just start drawing comparisons in that field. Okay, let's put on some. He's got these big earbud or these big headphones that we need to add in. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very quick to tell someone that they look like somebody. Because I think in my mind they're gonna be like, okay, let me check what this person looks like, and then they're gonna agree with me. But it rarely goes like that. I feel like best case scenario they'd be like, oh okay, well I don't think so, but all right. Okay, they these big earbuds, big earphones, headphones, and then they kind of connect like this. Yeah, so I just try to remind myself that best case scenario they probably won't care. So it's probably best to hold that to myself. Here we go. Okay. We'll have to fix these later. They look a little too small, I guess. Also like the wrong angle, I think. I'm trying to think anyone else I've been compared to. I feel like my face changed a lot when I was like going through puberty. So I feel like I don't really look. A lot of the stuff I used to get was as a kid. Well, actually, okay, the big thing people used to say, this wasn't even like a person, but just like when I was a very, a very young man, I used to get people would always ask me if I was a boy or a girl, and that would that would absolutely infuriate me. Like, oh my goodness, that would absolutely infuriate me as a little as a young boy. But like looking back, like it was a valid question. I'm not gonna lie, it was more than a valid question. I just think it's so fun. It used to make me so mad. It used to make me so upset. Okay, I used to have really long hair as a young boy. And it's funny, it makes me think like I wonder if I ever somehow would ever happen to have kids or whatever. I wonder if I would put my kid through the same thing of making them or not making them have long hair, but just having them be open to that experience. There definitely was a formative experience. My dad told me that I looked like a boy with my winter gear on and hat and all. Well, at least that's coming from your dad. At least that's coming from your dad. I was having it from like random boys I'd meet on like a playground. Yeah, at least it's from your dad. I gotta get some white. Um, where did it go? Where did I put it? Maybe it's in here. Yo necesito blanco pinto. Where is my white paint? I really don't know where my white paint is. Man, maybe it's in my car. Man, I don't know where it's at. I have this big tube of white paint. I don't know where it went. Yeah, I guess I never thought about what that would feel like from the other perspective. Because I always got it from the, um, I'm a boy, but people thought I was a little girl when I was a kid. I never really thought about what that would be like on the opposite side. Man, where did my white paint go? I feel like I really need some white paint. Okay. Okay, let's see. He has a kind of a pink orange. Kind of has like a pinker undertone up top and then more like a yellow orange undertone towards the bottom of his face. So I guess we'll try to do that. I don't know if I'm smart enough necessarily. There's a lot of things I feel like I know how they're supposed to be, and I know like theoretically what I could make them look like, but I don't really know like how to actually do it, to be honest with you. Let's just put it all in with one value. I don't want to stress myself out with trying to mix a bunch of different colors right now. I think we have the bulk of the structure so far. You know what else? Today I got the chance to play some pickleball, and I've been so I'm not even on like I try not to watch too many like shorts and reels and stuff and all this social media stuff because it stresses me out. But I did notice that like pickleball was becoming this like trendy sport to play whatever. So I like in my mind in my mind I'm like okay, it's popular so we're not doing it. So we're not going to try that. All right. Easy. Um but actually I played it and it was actually really fun. It was kind of fun. It was really fun. So I get the hype. I understand. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I would definitely do it again. There's just there's just something to when things get popular. In my head, it's like, okay, here we go. There's like a flip. There's a switch instantly like flipped in my head. Okay, we're gonna need to definitely go lighter on all these high points. Here we go. All right, we gotta figure something out for the shadow side as well. Because he has a shadow side, but it's not like it's super dark. It's just kind of a it is darker, but it's more like a different. It's like a cooler version of his skin tone. Um, my uncle was in charge of bringing pickleball to schools in Atlanta. Okay, that's really cool. He plays pickleball with Cam Newton. Okay, that's really sick. That's really cool. That's really sick. It actually is so fun. I'm not even gonna lie. It's so fun. It is fun. It is fun. Because it's like tennis, but the ball doesn't quite go as far, so you don't have to run quite as much. Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's really cool. He gets to play with Cam Newton. See, I never know. I didn't know like if it was like I can never tell. I just my instant thought is that when something becomes popular, it's like disingenuous. I don't know. My instant thought is like, okay, someone's just trying to do this and make a bunch of money, and it's probably gonna work out. But that is pretty cool. I'm sure it's just a fun thing people want to be involved in. It's almost like, and I know it's not anywhere similar. But do you remember? I don't know if if your school had this, but like for some reason around like fourth, fifth grade, they started bringing in like these guys that would come into their school and they would like try to sell yo-yos to us. I don't know if you guys had that, but they tried to like sell yo-yos to us and like magic putty. So it's like, why are they advertising in the school? But I always thought that was kind of funny. But as in my mind, I thought it was like kind of similar to that, like just people trying to advertise something. But at this point, it is like a it's pretty cool to bring like sports back to kids. Maybe I don't know how social media maybe has taken over kind of like school entertainment, but it would be cool to bring back just old school, just hitting sports and stuff like that. I feel like I remember that. Did they do that for you too? Did they try to sell you guys on like yo-yos and because it wasn't even a fundraiser. That's the only thing. That's the funny part I remember is that like they definitely had the fundraisers. So they would come in and you would like try to sell like you would try to sell like fudge or cookies. For us it was fudge, a lot of fudge. Trying to sell fudge to people and then I would just give my thing to my dad and try to see if he could sell some to his coworkers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would try to give it to my dad, have him sell to our coworkers, to his coworkers. But then, like the yo-yo thing seemed separate. Like they weren't even advertising. They weren't even like trying to get us to raise funds or anything. Oh, we did the chocolate. Oh my goodness, we had. Oh my goodness. But back where I grew up, we had this thing. We had this thing called Mally's chocolate, and they came in these beautiful bars, and they had like, dude, they were amazing. Like I remember you would be trying to sell them, but then you would end up buying them yourself because they were so good. Okay, I think we got a little out of hand with his jaw. We got a little out of hand with the jaw. I just saw all my talk about that church. That definitely is a good spot, especially if you're like relatively well liked. Yeah, I would just pawn him off to my dad. And then there was one time, and I don't quite understand. I still don't quite understand what happened. Um, but there was one time where the big prize of winning this like selling like the most chocolate bars was that you were allowed to go to Dave and Buster's with people. I don't know if you guys know what Dave and Buster's is, but it's like Chuck E. Cheese, but like a little bit older. And so this big prize was that you would go to Dave and Buster's. And I don't remember selling a single bar. And somehow I was at Dave and Buster's winning prizes and playing with all the kids. I don't think like there was, and they also like had like a limo. They rented like a limo for us. I don't know how in the world I got in that group because I don't remember selling a single fudge bar, a single anything. I don't remember selling anything because I never did. I would just show up and not do anything. So I don't know how. Maybe they felt bad for me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they felt bad for me and they wanted to include me. But there was like it was like a very select group of people that got to go, and somehow I was included. I don't know how at all. I definitely did not put effort into sell a single bar. My sisters got to go to Cece's. Oh my goodness, Cece's Pizza. I kind of thought that was like a local or like a little more local. Cece's Pizza. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Cece's Pizza was kind of cool. I think is Cece's Pizza still around or did they get shut down? I feel like might have got shut down or they might have got went bankrupt. Man, I remember Cece's Pizza. They used to have Cece's Pizza used to have the like a macaroni and cheese pizza, which is crazy. That's the kind of stuff you only see at like those kind of establishments. I've never even heard of a macaroni and cheese pizza. It was good though. Okay, we need to fix this jaw. This right here is this specific issue. We need to cut that right there. I think that's better. I can't tell yet. Yeah, CC's Pizza was something different. I remember our CC's Pizza used to have like vending machine, not vending machines, like claw machines in the back. It was like they were. It felt like they were like half committed to it being like a party place. Like they were like half committed to it being like a fun. The other half was just like it was just like a normal pizza spot, but then they were kind of like willing to let you have a birthday party there. That's what it felt like. It felt like they were like kind of willing to let you have a birthday party there, maybe sometimes. Okay, let's get the skin tone figured out. I feel like we need a stronger color. But yeah, I feel like I got involved in a lot of those things in like really early. Maybe not so much in high school. I don't think my luck continued during the high school, but at least when I was a little kid, like I remember there was this time where they selected a couple different kids to cut the principal's hair, and so they had us all they had us all like line up, and we got on a ladder because this guy was gigantic. Like this principal, he was a really cool guy. But this principal, he must have been like 6'4", 6'5". The guy was giant. Um, and so they would have all little kids line up on a ladder, and then in front of the rest of the class, we got to shave his head. And I don't know how I got involved in that. I don't know. Maybe they just I don't know. I do not know. I have my theories, but I'll keep them to myself. But yeah, that was fun. That was really funny. I also remember thinking it was a bigger deal than I think it actually ended up being. Because as a little kid, like my hair meant everything to me. So I was like, oh my goodness, we're gonna cut this guy's hair off. But nowadays, if I start to feel like a little itch on the back of my neck, my whole head shaved, I'm going bald. Okay, I'm going to mix a relatively strong orange for his skin tone, and then we can go back from there. For some reason, I smell like syrup on my fingers. I don't know what that is. I smell like syrup. You know, let's just take it over his whole face. We can work backwards into a lighter, duller value. I just want to make as big of a jump from this dull gray shadow into his actual skin tone. I don't want him to look like kind of flat. Which I just got to be careful I don't overwork the page. It's already a really thin page in the first place. Yeah, it's already a really thin page. Okay, that feels a little better. I feel better about that. There we go. There we go. There we go. We need to reinvest in the darks as well. Let's reinvest in these dark colors. I also feel like the color of the headphones kind of makes him look like a little boy. So I think we're gonna, even though they're kind of a similar color in the reference, I kind of wanna, I'd like to make them darker. I don't know how you guys feel about electronics, but I tend to be just all black electronics. All black electronics. Like if I have the option to buy a phone, I'd prefer to buy the black one like 9 times out of 10. The only thing I don't do that with is like earbuds, I feel like. Because I am so bad at losing my earbuds that I like to have like I prefer like I've had some bright pink earbuds before. The ones I have now are like a blue. But I feel like I am other than that, if it's like a tablet, I want black. If it's like a laptop, I want it black. If it's a phone, I want it black. If it's yeah, I feel like I always pick black. Unless it's like a game system, maybe. Blue or purple. That's that, yeah, that's okay. That's pretty cool. You know what I meant was pretty cool is like when there was translucent electronics. Like when you could buy like a GameCube and it was like trans green or like translucent like purple. Even just like the normal purple GameCube color was kind of cool. Sometimes I think that the same that's happening to like cars as well. I feel like you don't see as many like weird colored cars. Maybe that's a good thing, but it's also kind of just interesting. A lot of cars, I feel like most cars you see on the road are either black, white, gray, silver. Yeah, I feel like that's usually it. I feel like if I was gonna buy a car brand new, which I don't think I'll ever do, I don't think I'd like to do. Um, if you buy a car brand new, it's like I feel like I would just want to buy it the craziest color I could get it in. Actually, maybe you know what? Saying that, I think I realize why people don't do that. Because then everyone knows it's you when you're driving like a neon green Prius. Everyone knows it's you. Okay, so never mind. I take it back. I take it back. But in theory, I think it would be cool to have a cool colored car. I think I'd like to have like a bright orange colored car if I ever get the chance to. If I'm ever buying a car because I just want it rather than like it's a good deal, I'd probably choose an bright orange car. Okay, we're kind of pushing through this thing. It's kind of in an ugly spot right now. But yeah, I feel like I'm usually the boring guy. I usually just buy black electronics. I would like though to have like a pink phone. I think that'd be kind of cool. A pink phone, like a neon green phone. Like I miss when the oh my goodness, do you guys? I never had one, but I always wanted one. Um, those iPhone fives. When they had those iPhone fives and they were in all different colors, that was so cool. I kind of wish I had one back then. But I don't think I was even old enough to really have a phone back then when the five was coming out. My car is blue with anime stickers and holographic cherry blossom flower stickers. Oh my goodness. Like a decal from the back. Like that kind of thing. Like the like a cherry blossom decal. I don't know if I go that far. But I think it'd be so nice to have like a bright orange like Toyota Tacoma or like a nice orange like Ford Ranger or something like that. Okay, let's make these darker. Let's make these headphones darker. But I think that as well. I think some people think that you're like ruining the value of a car when you customize it, but it's like if I had the money, like theoretically, if I had the money to buy like a Lamborghini, let's mess it up. Like let me I'm gonna draw with Sharpies. Like I'm gonna Sharpie on it. I'm gonna paint on it. I'm gonna do like a video where I'm painting on it with like crayon. I don't know, dude. It's my car. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. If I had that money, which there would be 10,000 things I would do with it before I buy a Lamborghini and drawing it with a Sharpie. But theoretically, you know what I mean? Theoretically. Oh, they're removable. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But either way, even if they weren't removable, it's your car. Like, why would I want to drive a boring car theoretically if I had the chance to draw on my car or paint on my car? I even think the same thing with tattoos, which is kind of like not. It's actually a totally different thing. I feel like if I was ever gonna get a tattoo, I would definitely want to be the one that drew it. I feel like I would. I don't think I'd want to have. Well, actually, let me think. Unless it was like an artist I really respected. Technically, my parents. No, it's still your car. It's your car. It's your car. You own that. That's your property. You spray paint on it if you want. You spray paint on it. Scratch it with a fork. It's your car. Eat Chinese food off of it. It's your car. I drew my yeah. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I would want to. I don't know. I go back and forth because sometimes there is art that's way better than mine. So it's like maybe I would want to have that art on me rather than my own. But also it's like, man, I don't know. I feel like if it's on my body forever and I'm going to the grave with this tattoo, it's like I feel like personally, especially being an artist, I would like to do my own if I were ever to get tattoos. But I don't know. I guess I could probably be convinced otherwise, but that's kind of where my mind goes. Yeah, especially as an artist. Especially as an artist. Like, could you imagine, like, could you imagine? I go to get a tattoo, and then the tattoo guy like just pulls up some AI generated like image. Like, dude, no, we gotta do better than this. Something a little better. But I don't know. I mean, just for me personally, I feel like if you're not an artist and you don't really care, like it's not that big of a deal. Art's just kind of a pretty thing to you, then that's fine. I don't see any issue with it. But I feel like I would look at it all day and like nitpick it, and I don't know. I might honestly even want to put it on myself too, which might be a step too far, but I feel like I would want to be the one to tattoo myself were I ever to do it, which I don't know if I would. I don't know. There's there's an artist I actually really do like her tattoos, and I think she just has like two straight lines coming up the back of her legs. I think they just come like ankle to like I really like that. I like straight lines. I don't know what it would mean to me, but I just like aesthetically I like the straight lines. Like even if I just had like a line that went from like here to like I don't know, I just like that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean anything to me particularly as of right now. So I don't know if I'd be able to get it and feel okay, knowing that it means nothing to me. Okay, we're moving past the ugly stage. I think we're kind of getting somewhere. It's always rough in the first like half hour of a drawing. Did your tattoo hurt? I know that's like the most like base level tattoo question, but I feel like I would do pretty well with a tattoo. I feel like I wouldn't be crying and hollering because I'm relatively okay with needles. I just wouldn't want to. I feel like I might jump a little bit. Like I might jump out of my seat a bit if I was getting tattooed. Okay, there we go. Kind of got a little bit of crazy curls on this guy. Tattoos are expensive. Yes, I. There's a lot better things I could do with $500 right now than get a tattoo. Um, ooh, okay, that's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think I could still bear it. I think. It's still pretty bad. You know, I used to think for some reason I was convinced I didn't need to wear sunscreen because I had a dark complexion. And like whenever my parents' friends when I was younger, they would like put sunscreen on me and be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I don't need sunscreen. I'm black. Um, but then like a couple of years ago, I actually did get like a sunburn. It was pretty bad. I didn't really did not enjoy that. I don't even know if it was so much sunburn as it was like a I don't even know what sun poisoning is, but it felt more like it just I wasn't supposed to be in the sun. Like it just didn't feel right, and my skin started having like a weird reaction to it. So yeah, I learned that. I'm pretty sure that even if you have this is a warning, or not a warning, but this is like a for anyone that doesn't think they need sunscreen. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think what happens is you can still take sun damage, even if you have dark skin. It just you don't see it as well, so it's almost worse. Like you don't really like it just doesn't like it doesn't visualize itself as bad. So if you have dark skin, still a good idea to wear safe sunscreen, I suppose. I'm pretty sure. I might have made that up though. There's times where I feel like I make stuff up and I don't know where to prove it. Okay, I need a lighter color. I don't know where I put my white paint. I have no clue where I put my white paint. Hold on, maybe let me look for. Let me see if I can find my white paint. I don't know where I put it. I have no clue where I put my white paint. No clue. What's up, Ash? Black people definitely need SPF. See, I don't know what all the numbers mean though. I don't know what SPF 100 is. I don't know what SPF 90. I don't know what any of that means. Ash, I think it thinks you're speaking like Vietnamese, and it translated you to Hai Thong. Goodness. Yeah, but I think sunscreen definitely, dude. I used to think I didn't need it. I used to think There was no point wearing it. But I think it's worse. Like I literally think it's worse. Like I think you'll take the damage and then not like have a clue that it was damaging for you. Okay, we got to get this right. This could mess it up, but we're gonna take a risk. Hopefully this will lighten up. This could shift. I think it's gonna shift down, it looks like. I might have not put enough white paint in it. Either I've been assuming the higher the number, the stronger the protection. I think so. I would assume so. Oh yeah, I would assume so. But then like, why? I just don't know why they would ever make the lower ones. You know what I mean? Like theoretically, if SPF 100 protects you more than SPF 80, why would you ever buy the SPF 80? But I don't know. Maybe that's too simple. It's got to be too simple. And maybe the lower SPFs don't do as much cast, don't have as much like white cast or with a white color. Thanks, Ash. It was really rough here in the beginning. It was really, really, really rough. Also, I didn't forget. P.S. You said that you had no clue who Clint Eastwood was. That is outrageous. Wait, was it P.S. Was someone else? Oh no, I think it was. I think it was P.S. If you guys don't know who Clint Eastwood was, you guys got to learn that today. That's got to be your guys' lesson for today. Look up Clint Eastwood. Go back, watch every single movie, and then come back. Then and only then can you come back. Once you know who Clint Eastwood is. He's just like a really old actor, like a 90-something-year-old actor now. But he was really good. At least he played his roles very well. Back in like the oh yeah, the pure squint. The squint on that guy. The squint on that guy. This was legendary. And then his son, I don't know if you guys know this, his son looks just like him too. Like, or one of his sons looks just like him. Well, at least the same face. Like they have the same face, which is kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, his son looks just like him. I think it would be kind of rough to have a father who's like really famous. That'd be kind of rough. Well, okay, let me take that back. Let me take it back. Let me take it back. Hold on. It'd be rough in specific kind of ways, I guess. I should say. It'd be like tough to live up to. I'll say. Have a good night. I have assignments to complete and work on. All right, PS. Good luck with your assignments. Hopefully, you'll be back in another stream. Good luck on those assignments and those exams. Wait, did school even start yet? Did school start back up? I know most people have a couple more days, but good luck. We need another lighter value. We need to go even lighter. Also, PS, you actually won't miss much. I'll probably stream for another couple minutes till we finish this one and probably call it a night. I got this song stuck in my head. Do you guys ever have like, you know what? There's some next Friday. Oh yeah, Ash, I forgot you're going back to school. I forgot. Let's go, Ash. Let's go, Ash. Let's go. I totally forgot you're going to school. What I was gonna say is, do you guys ever have like certain songs are like it almost feels like a muse. Like certain songs almost have me like like accessing different parts of my brain. I don't know. And there's this one that just opens me up, dude. I don't know. It just this song opens me up in different kind of ways. And I've been playing it on repeat since the stream started. I'm still not even tired of it. Like I can still listen to it another 2 hours and just have this song going back and forth in my head. Oh, that's probably too bright. Okay, ooh, that probably is too bright. I'm excited for you, Ash. I forgot the exact what the name of your course was, or the name of your like course. Is that what it's called? Like a course? The name of your like study plan, or your like your degree plan, or the name of your degree, I guess. I forgot what it was. Oh, right, right, right. Okay, yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, my sister um, recently did her master's of public health. This guy's kind of starting to look like Clint Eastwood a little bit. Maybe I should have stopped thinking about Clint Eastwood and focus on the reference. I'm not gonna lie, Clint Eastwood was like, uh, honestly, when I was like a young man, I would say when I was like 15, 16, like my ideals about like masculinity largely came from Clint Eastwood. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was making that stuff on my own and trying to figure out like what it meant to be like a man of like honor, I suppose. A lot of what I got was from Clint Eastwood, like from the movies and stuff like that. Even though it's not even him, it's just like a character. But I feel like that's how a lot of people get their ideas about manhood or whatever, masculinity or all kinds of stuff like that from movies. I'm sure women do the same thing. I'm sure women get their ideas from some ideas from movies and stuff like that. Did you ever watch Western shows? No, I never did. Oh, hold on. I missed the first one. I missed the electives from undergrad. I missed the painting classes. Now my electives are boring. Yeah, I don't even know what to say because my whole degree was boring. The entirety of my degree was boring. I didn't really get time to do a whole lot of like whatever. This isn't a pity party. It's not a, it's not a pity party. 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 Um, whatever. Yeah, I didn't get to do any painting classes, which kind of were whatever. Did you ever watch Western shows? I never watched the shows. I got hip to the movies. That's what I was really on. I got hip to the movies. That's really where I was. That's really where I was like locked in. It was all the spaghetti westerns from like the 1960s, 70s, 50s, like around that era. That's what I got into. So The Great Silence. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. When I saw that movie, you could not tell me I wasn't going to be a cowboy. Like when I saw that movie, you guys, there's nothing you could tell me that would convince me I was not a cowboy in this life, in a past life, in the next life. Like there's nothing you could tell me. The Great Silence, like literally, was a bright spot in my young life. So yeah, The Great Silence was crazy for me. What else? What other cowboy movies really stuck with me? I mean, like True Grit. I like True Grit. I wouldn't say it like formed my idea of what it meant to be a man, but True Grit was pretty good. What other Western movie? We could really pull up the what's it called? We could really pull up like a list, but because the nice thing about those movies is that they're all kind of the exact same. Like that's the beautiful part about it. It's like once you've seen one, you've kind of seen them all, but they're all a little different in their own ways. But like a lot of them have the same actors. A lot of them are like around the same ideas. And there's like drama, so it's like if you're kind of like a an old man, I'm sure you get like a thrill out of it. I'm trying to think. So there's like The Great Silence, which is really good. There's this movie called And God Said to Cain. That was really good. Let me pull up my letterbox. See if I do I have a letterbox on this device. Yeah, I do. Okay, let's pull up the letterbox. Let's get in the weeds. Let's really talk about the cowboy movies. Okay, let me see. All right, the best one. I'm not gonna lie. The Great Silence. The Great Silence. Absolutely, like it didn't have me crying, but it had me forming all kinds of different thoughts in my head. All kinds of different thoughts. So there's The Great Silence. There's a movie called The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Oh my goodness, that movie was so well done. And that was also like when I was first getting into movies, just in general, and just like being curious about movies. I still need, hold on, I still need my reference. I need to find a way to do this. Do these both at the same time. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was like first getting into movies, and the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford was such a good movie, such a good movie. And sometimes movies seem better when you're like when you haven't seen a lot of movies, but I think that that one holds up. I think that movie, even if I watch it now, I probably would feel the same way I felt about it back then. This is less of like a cowboy movie and more of what's it called? More of like a modern like loneliness film. But the movie Midnight Cowboy, oh my goodness. Midnight Cowboy, if you're like under the age of like 16, probably don't watch it. Um, but it's a really good one. Midnight Cowboy is really good. I really like that one. It's kind of dark, a little bit like sad. It's mostly sad, I would say. Mostly like unfortunate. So Midnight Cowboy. Let me see what else. Spirit. If you've never seen Spirit, dude, and Spirit's for everyone. Spirit. If you're 10 years old, you could watch Spirit. If you're 40 years old, you could watch Spirit. Spirit is a phenomenal movie. It's about a horse. It's like a cartoon. It's a cartoon about a horse, but it's so awesome. It is so awesome. Spirit is such a good one, especially when you're like a young kid and you like the Native Americans, you like like the Civil War type stuff like I did. Um, that movie really hit me when I was a little kid, and I still watch it. Actually, I was watching it the other day. Well, it's been a while, but probably a couple months ago. Um, Learning that you love these movies really contextualize your art in your book. Yeah, dude, for sure. Like that's like all I think about is this kind of stuff. A large part of what I think about. Yeah, whatever. I have a lot of movies. There's a lot of. We could go through all kinds of different movies. All kinds of different movies I like. But I would say like right now. Right now, I've been watching. I've been rewatching. I've been rewatching this movie called McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Yeah, this movie called McCabe and Mrs. Miller. I really like that movie, and that movie is kind of like the basic premise is like there's this guy who's kind of like honestly, no matter how well I explain it, I'm never going to I'm never gonna do a good enough job. But basically the plot of McCabe and Mrs. Miller is that there's this guy who's like a he's kind of like a wannabe everything. You know what I mean? He's like a wannabe like cowboy. He's like a wannabe businessman. He's like a wannabe wheeler dealer. He's just like a wannabe kind of guy. Like he doesn't really fit in any kind of contact. He's not really like he's not really anything. He tries to be a lot of different things, but he's not really anything. Um, and so the plot is that he leaves like the Western world, or he leaves like wherever he was from, and he tries to make his own like town, I guess, because back then I guess I suppose it was like profitable to like start a town because then you have the profits from everybody. So any business that wanted to start there, you had profits coming in from them. And basically, like he runs this like brothel, and he also like lies about being some kind of like famous gunslinger, and he never like clarifies that he's not this famous gunslinger, and so people come looking for him, and they end up getting in a gunfight with him, and he ends up dying as a result of the gunfight because he never clarified that he wasn't this big time gunslinger wheeler dealer. Like, you know what I mean? He was never. I think the whole idea of that movie. I don't even know if it's for anyone. I don't know if anyone's listening, but I just like the idea that this guy wasn't really clearly he wasn't really sure of himself, and he just hadn't really like he was trying to be a lot of different things, but the one thing he wasn't being was like himself, and it ended up you know kind of coming back to nip him at the end. So I like that. I really like that. But it's not even just about him. It's like there's dual stories running at the same time with like a female counterpart of him who's kind of has like a similar thing, except she's like more sure of herself and yeah, it's a really beautiful movie. It's more than a western. That's why I like it. It's more than a western. There's some westerns that really are just westerns, that really are just like straight up cowboys and shooting and people falling off horses and them throwing horses off cliffs for no reason but for like theatrical effect, which yeah, whatever. I watched there's this movie, there's this movie, and honestly, it kind of makes me mad when I think about it. But there's this movie where like in the first like 45 seconds, they run a horse off of a cliff. They literally just run a horse. It's real. It's real. Like it's not AI. This is like 1950. They literally run a horse off of a cliff, and you just see it fall off the cliff and into the water. And it's like, dude, what was this for? This was for 10 seconds of a footage of a horse falling off a cliff. I say that to say McCabe and Mrs. Miller is more than that. McCabe and Mrs. Miller is kind of like a it's like a movie just about the human condition, which I really like. I really enjoy. All right, we're gonna try to come to the end of this painting soon. But yeah, I love cowboy movies that are more than a cowboy film. That's what I really like. Gotta think of what else. Like Ash, like what Ash, what would you say is like your favorite movie? Because I have a few that I think I would say are my favorites. But oftentimes those aren't movies that I can rewatch like every day. Those are movies that I have to kind of like let sit for a while and then come back to occasionally. But I tend to rewatch movies. I tend to rewatch them quite a bit. Where's my smaller brush? I need a smaller. Where'd it go? Is this? Yeah, this is it. Um, the girl with the okay, okay. I have wanted to watch that. I don't know what it's about, but I know that the director's good. And then also the man, Looper too. I wanted to watch Looper. Is Looper the one where the guy goes back in time but he has to kill himself? Is that what Looper is? Is this the same? Yeah, I think this is it. This is the one where yeah. Man, I've wanted to watch Looper. I wanted to watch Looper, but I haven't found the time. Also don't know where to watch it at. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. And it has that guy from Inception in it as well. I think that's the guy from Inception. Yeah, Looper looks really good. Man, I gotta watch it. I know honestly, even if people spoil movies for me, I'm really not put off by spoilers. But I know he has to go back in time because he's doing some kind of go back in time type stuff. And one of the guys he ends up having to go back in time to kill us himself. I that's what I've surmised. from what I've heard about it. But yeah, I'm not one of those people who gets really like put off and won't watch a movie because they heard a spoiler. I feel like it almost makes it not better, but it's almost like well now I still have to figure out how we get to that point. I can try to do a couple more hairs and then maybe call it a day. The girl with the dragon tattoo is very dark. Some uncomfortable scenes, but it's great. Really? What's like the general like? If you didn't want to tell me everything about it, what's like the general kind of plot about the girl with the dragon tattoo? Because that's the same guy that made Seven, right? Is that the same guy that made Seven or no? No, it's not. I'm sorry, not Seven. What is that other movie? What's the director's name? The girl with the David Fincher. Yeah, the guy that made Seven. Okay, let me see. Disgraced journalist Michael Blomqvist investigates the disappearance of a weary patriarch's niece from 40 years ago. He is aided by a pierced, tattooed punk computer hacker named Elizabeth Slander. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I know it's got to be good. I know it's got to be good. So there's a disgraced journalist hired by a man to find who killed his niece, but it's under the guise of him writing the man's biography. Wait, the guy is writing about the guy that's searching is finding. So James Bond, the James Bond guy, Daniel, whatever, the guy that's playing, Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig is writing a biography in search for the girl, or the guy that is searching is writing a biography about his life. Kind of confusing how I said that, but I feel like there's so many more movies. Like I've seen so many movies, but there's still so much I haven't seen. Daniel Craig is okay. Daniel Craig is a journalist, and he's writing a biography about the guy who lost his niece, if I'm understanding it correctly. But you know what's a really good movie? Blade Runner. If you haven't seen Blade Runner, Blade Runner's like the original, the 19 or what year did Blade Runner come out? Whenever Blade Runner came out, the original Blade Runner, not the Blade Runner 2049. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that yet. Um, that's a really good movie. I love that movie so much. Just the vibe of Blade Runner. I love the ending of Blade Runner as well. Or well, the I think it's the main ending. There's a bunch of different endings for Blade Runner. Also, another thing I really like in movies that I know puts some people off is bad endings or like the worst case scenario ending for a movie. I kind of like that when movies have that kind of ending because I feel like it keeps movies honest. Like it like it's a refresh when a movie gives you like a really like negative ending. It like keeps your mind open like because sometimes if you watch like a bunch of Marvel movies, like you kind of know or not Marvel. I don't want to pick on Marvel heads or like Marvel adults. Um, but any of those kind of movies where they're like movies rather than films, like sometimes you'll like be you kind of know what's gonna happen. You know it's gonna be a good ending because there's no way, there's no way they would make a bad ending. In my mind, it's like that. That's cool sometimes, but I think it keeps it honest. It keeps it to where it's like it keeps your mind open to like, okay, this they really could end up in a bad ending. Like this really could be a bad ending if. So I feel like people who make those kind of movies are doing a service to other movies, even though it might be at the detriment of their own movie. It's like they're keeping movies honest, which I think is cool. I would like. Okay, does Looper have a bad? Does Looper have a bad ending? Maybe Looper has a bad ending. A rich man hires him to write his biography, but he actually wants him to find the. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. That's pretty kind of sad. It seems. Yeah, those movies are really like Seven was kind of interesting. Um, it's another one kind of like that. Um, it is movies where there's like a big twist ending where it's like you have no clue what's gonna happen until we get towards the end. I feel like Seven was kind of like that. Fight Club was kind of like that. Yeah. I didn't never saw Gone Girl. Panic Room. I loved Panic Room. I'm not sure if you ever saw Panic Room. Ash, have you ever seen Panic Room? It's by the same director. Let me draw a little. Let me put a little bright spot on his earbud or headphones. Um, Gone Girl. What happened to Monday? What happened to Monday was a fun movie. What kind of sketchbook? Hey, what's up, Bob Kendler? This is just like a cheap. It's literally like a. I don't know. It's just like a cheap sketchbook. It's nothing particular. There's no brand on it. I'm thinking about buying a sketchbook, Bob, but I still gotta figure out which. I want to buy a gray tone sketchbook, but I haven't figured out which brand to go with for painting, like watercolor and stuff like this. You haven't seen Panic Room actually was pretty good. I liked Panic Room. It has I think Jodie Foster. It has Jodie Foster in it. Is it? Yeah, that is Jodie. I think that's Jodie Foster. Um, yeah, that's a pretty good ending. Man, I really missed. There was a period of time where I was watching movies like every day. Like I would just go either to Goodwill and find a new movie, or I would go to like online and search for like a new movie I'd never seen. And I was just seeing so many different movies and so much different like content in like a short period of time. Honestly, I think that was when I was feeling most motivated. I can't tell if it was because of the movies, or if the movies, or if I was just happened to do it because I was motivated. Yeah, it's hard to tell. But yeah, I was watching so many movies. You know what else looked really good? There's a new movie with not Clint Eastwood. What's his name? Not Chris Pratt. What's the guy's name? Brad Pitt. There's a new movie with Brad Pitt coming out where he's like he has a dog. That one looked pretty cool. I want to watch that. Mad Max Fury. Really? I've heard people say that before. I just didn't know what more there was to it besides like these people were in like a dystopian world punching each other, wearing like leather. There probably is more to it, but I didn't know what else there was. But is it just that, Ash? Are they just like people in like in steampunk cosplay punching each other, or is there like actually like a kind of a? If that is that's fine. This one honestly might be done. I don't know what else to do. Maybe add some more opacity to his hair, but that's about it. I'm gonna add some opacity in his curls and then probably call that one a day. An hour and 18 minutes. That's not too bad. Not too bad. A little slow, but it's good. I just didn't want to stress myself out today with trying to rush through a painting. Yes, but the woman captured by the leader tried to escape, and his minions chased him down. Okay. Is Max the shaved head woman, or is Max one of the guys? Oh no, not. I'm sorry, not the shaved head woman. Anya Taylor Joy. Goodness, goodness. Anya Taylor Joy. What? No, my goodness. She actually was really good in the Northman. In the Northman, she was really, really, really good. I haven't so much been a fan. I haven't so much like seen her in a lot of stuff lately, but I feel like for a little bit there, she was in some really good movies. Anya Taylor Joy. Anya Taylor. I always say Anya Taylor Lovejoy, but I don't think it is Anya Taylor Joy. Is it just? Oh, it is just Anya Taylor Joy. Okay. For some reason, my mind always wants to go Anya Taylor Lovejoy, and that doesn't make any sense. I don't know where I get that from. Yeah, she was in the Northman, which the Northman is another one of those movies I really love. I love the North. I really like the Northman. I really like the Northman. The Northman was so like people are talking so bad about the Odyssey, but it's like if you want to see something kind of similar to the Odyssey, but like really good and done really well and like artistically, the Northman is so good. The Northman is so. When I saw that, that like changed my perspective. Like that was crazy. I love that movie so much. It probably doesn't hit everybody the same way, but for me, that movie was like really beautiful. I love the way it was done. The Menu? No, I haven't. The Menu. Let me. The Menu. When you said that, I thought of Sling Blade, but it's not Sling Blade. Um, Sling Blade was another good movie. Oh, this has Anya Taylor Joy in it too. Okay. No, I haven't seen this. Yeah, I haven't seen any of Anya Taylor Joy's newer stuff. I didn't see House of Cards. Not House of Cards. Queen's Gambit. I didn't see Queen's Gambit. I didn't see Dune. I didn't see Split. I saw Split, but I don't even remember Split. I saw Glass, but I don't remember Glass. I didn't see Mad Max. Yeah, I saw her in The Northman, and I know she was in The Witch. The Menu is so funny and messed up. I started watching a bootleg of The Odyssey, but it was too badly. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. It was all right. People were really. I feel like people were really ragging on it. At least I heard people were ragging on it. I thought it was fine. To me, it's just like, um, I feel like when you're dealing with like a Christopher Nolan, the thing is that the budget is so high, so it's like you have all these expectations of like what they're going to be able to do. But it's like a movie is only as good as like the writing, so it doesn't really matter how big the budget is. It doesn't matter like how many famous people they get in it. It doesn't matter like what book it's based off of. Like the movies only can only be as good as like the writing. So yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought the Odyssey was fine. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it was fine. It was pretty weird seeing Travis Scott in like the first couple seconds of the movie, but other than that, it was fine. Literally in the first couple seconds, Ash, you didn't know that was Travis Scott. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, what am I looking at, dude? Like, what movie am I even watching? Yeah, I really think I'm pretty sure it actually really was him. I think it really was. But to me, it like kind of took me out of the movie. I'm like, okay, this is like a Nike ad. Just didn't. It felt kind of weird. But you know what? It's not right to hold people back. So I can't say he's just a rapper, just a singer. If he wants to be a actor in famous in good movies, and let him try, I guess. For me, it just takes me out of it. Like when someone's too famous. Like honestly, even if I had a huge budget and I was somehow in some weird world put in charge of like directing a movie, I would still try to get like never seen actors before. I would still try to get like really small actors. Because I feel like that's when it really like that's when you really lock in because you're like, okay, this is not Leonardo DiCaprio. This is not a famous guy. This is like the actual character. Even though I still like DiCaprio and I think DiCaprio does a great job. Um, yeah, it has. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it did have a lot of stars. I am distracted. I feel like the cast is too. Yeah, I feel like it too. Like, especially when you try to do this thing where it's like, well, maybe I don't even know. Maybe this is just my own mental whatever. But it's like, you can't make everybody handsome too. Like, you can't make everybody handsome. You can't have everybody be handsome. Like, we're in like the. Is this pre? Is this like BC? I don't even know when. I don't really know when the Odyssey is. I think it's. Yeah, I think it's BC. It's definitely BC. But it's like not everyone. You know, there's no way everyone. You know, no one was looking like Robert Pattinson in the BC era. There were no chiseled jawlines in the BC era. No way. No way. fake. But I don't know. It takes me out of it a little bit. But not even Robert Pattinson. I thought he did a good job. I just thought it was just for me it was just a Travis Scott thing that kind of took me out of it. Let's go a little darker on his. Yeah, I like when movies have like never before seen actors, like actors you've never. I feel like that makes like there's this movie called Past Lives. I feel like I've talked about it before, but for me they were all the actors I had just never seen them before, and they just did such a good job. They did such a good job. It was like John Margaro. I remember his name 'cause I've watched other movies with him since. But it was John Margaro, and I don't know the other people's names. But at the time, they were like people I had never seen before, and they were purely just these characters. That's purely what they were. I really liked that, and I thought Past Lives was wonderful. I honestly, Past Lives kind of had me crying because I saw it twice. I went to theaters twice to see Past Lives, and I was definitely tearing up at least once. Um, there's the concept of Instagram face, where audiences point out an actor is too Instagram pretty for a period piece. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just types of faces. I feel like faces have changed so much. I feel like faces have definitely changed. I'm not even Little House on the Prairie, but they have actors have lip fillers and perfectly groomed eyebrows. Yeah, yeah. You got to get some people that like really look like the peer. Like get me. I feel like I would do a good job. I feel like I really look like I'm. You know what I mean? From the BC era. Yeah, I feel like I really look like I'm from BC. Yeah, that is something. Like, there's even like I've heard people say like a phone face. Like this person looks like they've seen a phone, just like they look like they've seen a phone. And maybe there is something to that, like the way you hold your face as well, like maybe changes when you're cognizant of like social media and stuff and cameras. I feel like I do. Dude, have you seen me with a bald head? I could definitely have played Travis Scott's part. 100%. I could have at least been like a peasant, like walking outside the little room. I think I could have played somebody. Yeah, I do. I remember that too. Well, I'm still bald. I shaved my head pretty recently. I'm not bald, but I'm shaved headed again. Just got tired of it. I just got tired of my hair has like an awkward stage. And I feel like my hair would look nice if I let it grow out, but I just haven't. I just don't have the patience to like deal with it in the interim. Yeah, I don't have the patience to deal with it when it's like long enough to be an afro, but not long enough to like lay down or like actually move anywhere. I don't have the patience to deal with that. I feel like I prefer to just have either bald head or long hair, but not really in between. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having long hair again. Like in the period of time where when I had dreadlocks, um, or just locks, I really enjoyed that. I did. I didn't. I really enjoyed that actually. I think it looked pretty cool, and that definitely made me like gave me like a different kind of feeling. The only thing was is that one, I was definitely going bald. I was definitely starting to go bald a little bit, and I still am, which is fine. You know, everyone gets to that point. But yeah, one, I felt like I was going bald, and I also just felt like I just got tired of like, not that you can't look clean with the dreadlocks, but I just feel like I didn't know how to like, because I wasn't getting them retwisted, and I was just kind of letting them be like kind of wild, and I just didn't. I don't know. I feel like for my look, I just prefer to just be bald or be close, close cut. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop it there. I think I'm gonna stop it there. I think I'm gonna give it a signature and then probably stop right there. I compulsively shaved my head. I was recently. Well, honestly, I have certain things that I think may or may not lead me to being diagnosed in the future, but as of the time being, I'm not gonna go ahead and get diagnosed. But all right, yeah, we're gonna be. You know what? We will both be all right. Oh, before I go, I kind of wanted to show you this comic I got just quickly before I go. So you remember I was working on my own comic, which hasn't come much further. I've gotten a bunch of scans and stuff, and it still is. Um, and it still is so like. Well, okay, no, the new scans look a little better, but this is where the old one was, and I think whatever. Yeah, we need to keep working on this later. Probably do that tomorrow. But this is the other one. I saw this the other day. I got a big stack of comics just so I can feel like inspired again. And I saw this comic called Kid Eternity, which is really sick. Like, I had never heard of it. Honestly, all I'd never heard of any comics I grab. I always just grab like random. I always just grab random comics that I kind of think look kind of cool. And this was one of them. Let me kind of zoom out a bit. This was one of them. Gotta be careful because there's some nudity in this comic. But I just thought like the style is really cool, and it's like they're not trying to do a whole lot. I gotta be careful. They're not trying to do a whole lot with like realism. Kind of like, let me show you like a good. I want to find a good portrait. But even this, like this little character, like this little whatever demon guy. I don't know. They're not trying to do a whole lot with him. They're just kind of his whole face is blacked out in shadow, some light, some light, some light, and like. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I still gotta finish this one though. I got like halfway through the comic and then set it down. Um, Let me find another one. Yeah, I just like the idea that they're not trying to do a whole lot. I'm trying to find a good one. Like this one. This is pretty cool. Like this is doable. I feel like this is really doable. This is really doable. But it looks so nice and it's so well done. Yeah, that one's really cool. Really use yeah, dude, you'll notice comic books do that a lot. They'll cover a lot of ground with just black. Like if it's kind of dark, just black. If it's kind of like in shadow, just black. Like here's one. Just all black. Let's just figure. Let's just get this figured out. Black, 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 black. All blacked out. But yeah, I really. I'm gonna keep looking into this one specifically, like this Kid Eternity thing. I'd never heard of, but it's pretty like philosophical too. There's really this is an interesting one. Let me show one more. Oh, I like. Well, a couple more. I really like this one. This one does a really good job of not getting in the weeds of like details and like literally just only what's necessary. I feel like they do a really good job in this one of show you some of the other parts. Like this. Like this is all the information they give you about this guy's face. That's practically nothing. But you still know exactly what's going on. So yeah, I think this stuff is really, really cool. I'm gonna try to look into some of this stuff more because I feel like not that I did it incorrectly, but I think with my comic, I kind of tried to go too much in the weeds of detail. And it's finished now, so it's like it's fine. But I think for the next one, this one or the this one, look like Scarecrow from the Batman. Oh yeah, I guess it could. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I see what you mean. Goodness, I have not thought about Batman in a long time. This one, well, let me be careful. I don't know if this one has the female figure. I'm not sure. Whatever. Yeah, this one's a little more in the weeds of detail. But yeah, there's so many different. What's up, Welsh Knight? What's up, Welsh Knight? Yeah, there's so many different ways to go about a comic book. And it's like this, there's this style where you really go in the weeds and you really try to, tell a whole lot about the figures and what's it called, the faces, and try to make everything realistic. And then there's a style like the one I just showed you before. Or even like this one. I think this one's probably similar. No, this one's detailed too. Yeah, so there's a style like this where you're really going in the weeds and you're doing everything like this is see, this is crazy. This is like I don't even really know how you get this out on a timeline to do something like this. But then there's something like this where it's like I think I mean sure you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. This one's just playing with light and shadow. This one's really trying to give you all the information. And I think the funny part is that they both read. Honestly, this one might probably reads better just because you don't need that much information. And for the most part, a lot of what you're doing anyway when you're reading comics is like going from text box to text box to text box, kind of getting the images, but yeah, a lot of what you're getting is the text boxes anyways. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I will be reading more comics, and that's what I'll be doing as I try to continually learn art and painting. Also, I've been reading, this is off topic from painting, but I've been reading a lot from this book as well, which I've really liked. Alan Sillitoe has been a very interesting author to read. It's kind of like British. It's like a British, like, my goodness. It's like a British, like street. It's like British street, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. But this one's been really good. I've been reading this one. But all right. I'm going to leave this picture here. There is always paint on my laptop. Yes. I'm surprised there's not more, honestly. There's paint on my desk, too. Let me show you guys my desk. There's paint all over my desk. Paint on my laptop. Paint everywhere. Paint here. Paint on the walls. A little bit of paint inside me as well, so. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for sticking with me. You guys actually stuck with me a long time. It's been an hour and a half. I always appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to stream more. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye.